Yo, rise and shine. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to do a flow. This one is going to be a keyword flow because I'm talking to the servants. Hey, servants, what's up? This one's to you, right? Okay, so I want to show you what's up with some words, man. You know, because I was in the pit yesterday, and then I was hearing how that they were saying, there were some people up in there, and they were saying that all of our industries have been taken over by other entities that wish to cause our industries harm. And I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about, right? And one of those industries was the healthcare industry. And then, you know, I used to work in the healthcare industry before I came a lawman. And then, you know, I was like, I agree totally 100% with what they are saying is that, you know, we are servants, right? Men and women are servants, right? And then this is what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to serve each other, right? So I'm going to show you what serve is, right? You know, to serve means be a slave, right? I like this word. It's so much fun. But really, this is what the servant is, right? The servant is a shepherd. The servant is observer, right? The servant is a guardian, right? The servant heeds and the servant protects, right? That's what all of the men and the women are supposed to do, right? We are servants, right? And we are servants of God. You know, I know that might rub a lot of people wrong, but whatever, man, I don't care, right? I'm just here to show you what's up. Okay, so let's keep it going. Boom. All right, so right here, this is Doc Corpsman, right? And then when you do a Google search for Doc Corpsman, this is going to show you an image, right? And this is how I learned to be a servant, right? You know, because I was trained by the military how to be a Doc Corpsman, right? And it's a fun word because corpsman means, or corpse means body, and man means, you know, man, think, right? But body, man, think. It's such a fun word. All right, so check this out. Here we go. Let's keep it going. I'm going to show you another servant, right? Doctor, physician. Hi, Dr. Physician. Look at you guys looking all cute with your little lab coats on, right? You know, so the doctor, physician, you guys are another servant, right? You're supposed to serve the people, right? Okay, let's keep it going. I'm going to show you another one, right? Nurse, okay? A nurse is another servant, right? You are supposed to serve the people, okay? So there's a pattern here. There's a pattern that's going on because I want to show the healthcare people what they're supposed to do, man, right? You know, but the healthcare people has been infiltrated by other people who wish to cause the industry harm, right? You know, and I'm here to free you. All right, so check this out. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, so we always got to start off with the order, right? And then the order is God created the world, check. God created man, aka people, check. People created states, check. People created constitutions, check. People created governments, check. Question: when did government become boss of the people? All right, so we're going to find some words out right now, okay? Let's keep it going, right? So lawman always has to start off with the law, right? And the great law is a maxim, right? That's what maxim means, great law, right? You know, so here's one right here. It says oath, right? You know, remember, there is no stronger link or bond between men than an oath, right? You know, so your word is bond, right? So the things that you say out of your mouth, that you raise your hands up and say, I swear, right? Boom, that's an oath, man. That's called a verbal contract, okay? Let's keep it going, right? You know, so here's healthcare. Hi, healthcare. Look at you guys, you know, you and your mask and you and your mask, and you got a stethoscope and all these little pretty images right here, right? But whatever, man, you know, this is about you. So we're going to show you what's up with the healthcare. Remember, 2 words, healthcare, right? And we're going to do that because we're going to walk you through Plato's cave right now, right? So we're going to walk the people through Plato's cave, and then you're going to see through my eyes, right? Because I'm going to be showing you what's up on the screen, right? But I'm going to show you how the screen works, right? Because this is what we do, is that we bring you to the light. Hopefully we bring you to the light, right? So if that's if you have the eyes and the ears to see and hear. All right, let's keep it going. Grand jury, right? So this is the crew that we like to hang out with the grand jury, right? Because it's the great law, right? Because that's what jury means, is right word, law, you know, just keep it straight. All right, but then look, we like to hang out with these people because they just look so fun. This guy right here, look at him like, oh my God, it's too early in the morning, bro. Come on, man, I was in the bed sleeping. Here you go, waking me up. All right, man, let's get to work. Right. All right. So let me show you what's up with the civil grand jury, right? Because you need to know what the function is, right? And then the function is to investigate the operations of the various officers, departments, and agencies of local government, right? So where all men and all women live in, there's always going to be some type of government, right? Because that's what we've created for ourselves, right? So men and women, we are the masters of all government, all right? Let's keep it going, right? Boom. I'm going to show you. Here we go. It's California Constitution, right? And when I tell you that we are the masters, it's trying to show you right here where it says, we the people of the state of California, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom in order to secure and perpetuate its blessings, do establish this Constitution, right? So every time before we walk, because that's what preamble means, man, right? So before we walk, we always lay down these words for our government servants, right? So all of our government servants know what these words mean, right? And then from there, we've created constitutions, right? And then within these constitutions are the rules that they're supposed to adhere to, right? Because the people have bound them to those rules, right? The people are not bound to the Constitution. All of our government servants are bound to the Constitution, because when they take that oath, that's what that means, man. All right, let's keep it going. So here goes. Article 1, right, and then of California Constitution, and then you scroll down and you look at text of Section 3, and then you see these words right here. The people assemble freely to consult for the common good, right? So all people can assemble. All people can come together and talk for the common good. And whatever that common good is for those people, right? So as long as they don't cause harm to man, woman, or child, you're free, man. You're totally free. And then the people also have an obligation and a duty to instruct their representatives, right? So an example of instructing the representative, it will be like, how you have governors, right? So every man and every woman has a duty and an obligation to go and instruct their governors, right? To instruct their mayors, right? To instruct their assemblymen, right? To instruct any man or any woman that says, hey, I'm going to be a public servant, right? So you also get instructed by we the people, man. And this right here is a form of instruction in tab flow, right? All right, let's keep it going. So here goes Article 1 of the United States Constitution, right? And then I want to show you what Congress has the power to do, right? So Congress only has the power right here. Check this out, right? To regulate commerce, right? So whenever you see Congress hopping up on the screen going blah, 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 democracy. Oh, whoa, that they just committed treason when they say democracy. But whatever, that's another thing, right? So they only regulate commerce, right? And commerce means our markets, right? And then the markets are the places where the people can go, and then they can do their thing, man. So if you have skills and stuff like that, right, and you don't want to be harmed, right, then you go into that little market area, and then the Congress has set up a bunch of rules so that way the people, that are in there, they don't get harmed, man. It's stupid simple once you understand the words, all right? Let's keep it going. So here goes the Bill of Rights in the United States Constitution, right? And then you have the First Amendment, and you always hear the people, I can say whatever I want. I got freedom of speech. It's true. It's true, right? Because it says it right here. So Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, right? So you can't create a religion and say that you can only say this and you can only do that and you must follow these rules. You can't do that, Congress, right? You can't prohibit the free exercise thereof. You can't stop people from saying anything. We're free to do what we wish to do, right? Or abridging the freedom of speech, right? An example of someone abridging or blocking our speech will be like a company or a corporation trying to say, that's misinformation, you can't say that, and then they remove your speech, man. That's against the rules, okay? Or the press, right? The freedom of the press means is that you can press and push whatever it is that you want to do, man, right? So if you want to say something like, look, I think the government is not good because they're breaking the rules, and here's how they're breaking the rules, right? You can't go out there and say, well, we need to fact check that, right? And then that fact checker is like someone who's approved by we don't know who, right? And then they say, oh, this looks like it's not a fact. And then you say, let's take that down, right? You can't do that. Also, check this out. The right of the people peaceably to assemble, right? So every man and every woman can come together, right? We can come together and we can assemble and we can do what we want as long as we associate together, right? And to petition the government for redress of grievances, right? So we can always come at you and let you know, we'll dress you down, man. We'll take your clothes off and let you know what's up, man. And we always have to do that by showing you the fundamental principles, man. That's what we do, right? So all we do is we show our political servants the fundamental principles of the law now, man. And that's it. It's a scary, simple service. Okay, let's go. Here goes another maxim, right? In economics and business, right? You know how you have all those people that are on the screen talking about, we're in a recession and the blah 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 is going down and oh my god, doom and gloom. It's like, dude, what are you talking about, man? There is no doom and gloom. Maybe in your system, right? Maybe in the system that you operate in, but right, check this out right here, 35B. Let everyone employ himself in what he knows, right? So I'm looking at this world, right? And I'm seeing that there's billions of people in the world, right? Billions, right? Every one of those men and every one of those women, they know something. They know how to do something, right? And all we have to do now is go find those men and women that know how to do stuff, and then we'll associate with them, and then we'll show them what's up, man. And then they're going to be free. They're going to be able to buy, and they're going to be able to sell, and they'll be able to have property. They're going to be able to do all sorts of things, man, because that's just what it is, right? Because here, check this out. 35A is also a good one. Commerce, the market, ought to be common, right, and not to be converted into a monopoly and the private gain of a few, right? So you cannot monopolize the market, right? The market is open for all the people, man. Scary, simple service, right? So check this out. I'm going to show you an example of what a monopoly looks like. Right? Hi, Medical Board of California. What's up, you little fake monopoly? This one's for you. I'm going to show you what's up right here. Right? So when you look at the mission of the medical board, right, because this is where all the doctors have to go in California in order for them to get their little piece of paper that says that they can do what they can do, right? So they all have to go here because the mission of the Medical Board of California is to protect healthcare consumers. Stop right there, right? So that's it. If you're a consumer, right, then that's all that they're protecting. And then the only one that we've given power to do that with is Congress, right? So this is how one of those word traps that they always trap the people in, right? Because they say, hey, we're doing this because we got to protect the consumer, man. So, before you do what you can do, you better come register with us and get a license, right? So that way we know that you're not going to harm the consumer. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, dude. All right, so we're just showing the people what's up now. Okay, so here goes another one, the American Medical Association, right? You see that? American Medical Association, founded in 1847, right? But here goes the mission, right? If you look at the mission is to promote the art and science of medicine and the betterment of public health, right? So a lot of doctors have to go through this association right here in order for them to get their little piece of paper, right? What we call that is a monopoly, right? And you don't have that power or ability to do that, man. So all you doctors who feel that you have to join this American Medical Association with these words that I'm showing you right now, you guys are going to be free, okay? Because you can go and employ yourself with what you know, right? So the things that you learn, those are yours. That's if it's in your head and you have that knowledge, that's your knowledge. You can use that knowledge to employ yourself, man. As long as you don't harm man, woman, or child, you're good, bro. All right, let me show you another one. Here goes another one, right? I know a lot of nurses and things like that too, and then they're always like, I'm a registered nurse, right? And you're like, you're an RN. That just means that you've just registered yourself to the state. So you're subordinate to the state, right? And then if you look at it, it's all about the consumer. See, so if you go and if you're a registered nurse, right, you're not doing it because this is how what you're supposed to do. You're doing it because now you're falling under the jurisdiction of the state, right? And then the state is just making sure that you've gone through whatever schooling that they feel that you had to go through. So then that way you're fine, right? But then check this out. This is all they do. right? They just protect the consumer, right? So if you're dealing with a consumer as a nurse, right, then yeah, you better go through this this registered nursing thing, right? But if you're dealing with people, with men and women, and you want to make sure that they're healthy, right, then you don't have to do this, okay? This is what I'm getting to, right? I'm going to free the healthcare industry today, right? And it's going to be so much fun. All right, let's keep it going. Right, here goes another one. The American Nurses Association, right? Look at this one. The ANA is at the forefront of improving the quality of health for all, right? Who gave them that responsibility? I never gave them that responsibility. I'm one of the people. I've never signed a contract with these people called the American Nurses Association and said, now, you guys have the responsibility for improving the quality of healthcare for all. No, so now that I know that a bunch of nurses have to go through this organization right here in order for them to be able to do what they have to do, I'm like, whoa, I think you guys are being a monopoly too, right? And then boom, now you guys are done, right? So we're going to dust you to the side just like we dusted the American Medical Association to the side, right? So check this out. Here goes another one, right? The Liaison Committee on Medical Education, right? So here goes another private entity, right? So this is a private entity that provides the medical education programs with accreditation, right? So these people go through medical schools and they say, yeah, you guys are good. And then they give them a stamp, and then they give them a little piece of paper, and then those little people get a little piece of paper that gets to say that they're accredited, right? But check this out. Look at this. The LCME accreditation is voluntary, right? Which means that these people, these schools, these programs are voluntarily going to do that, right? And then the reason why that they're voluntarily going to do that is because the government has set up a scheme, right? And the scheme is that if you want to work with the consumers, right, then you have to get accredited, right? Now, you can work with the men and you can work with the women and you can work with the children all you want and you can help them all you want as long as you don't cause any harm, right? But if you're going to do it in a consumer fashion, then yeah, you better go to an accredited program. All right, so check this out. I think we just freed up all the medical degree people out there. All right, so let's keep it going. We're going to show you what employ means, right? Because when you say that you're an employee, right, then that means that someone is just folding you into an organization, right? That's all they're doing, right? See, to fold, right? Apply or devote something to some purpose, right? So if your purpose is to do something like make people well, right, make people one, then you are employed, right? You are folded into that, right? But you're separate from that, right? So just know that men and women are not employees, right? To employ is a verb, which means it's an action. It's something you do. Okay, let's keep it going. Right, here goes the Joint Commission, right? So the reason why I'm showing the Joint Commission, because I'm showing you the sausage right now, man, right? So the Joint Commission is an organization that comes through and then they go and then they check off the healthcare facilities, right? And then the reason why they check off the healthcare facilities is because they also, too, are coordinating with the government, right? So they coordinate with the government because they coordinate for consumers, right? And then they make sure that all of these rules and regulations that they've established and they've set up, they've recommended things. And they say, example, like you have to have something either so high from the roof or so high off of the ground, right? And if you don't, then they ding you for that. And if you get so many dings, then that means that you can't operate your facility until you fix those, right? And in the medical facilities, all the healthcare facilities, they give these people money to come give them, a screening, right? It's so much fun, man. It's like a big shakedown. I love this one. This is cool, right? So if you ever want to know what happened to the mob, right? Right. The mob just basically went in and then they said, they call them officers now, right? So these people can go and they can set up things, I'm saying it in a fun way, right? I'm not saying that these people are the mob or anything like that, but the way that they act, right? When they go in and then they say, well, we're getting ready to shake down your healthcare facility and you guys better have your things up the way that we want it. And if you don't, then you can't operate, right? And we're going to tell the big bad government that this one isn't approved by the Joint Commission, man. So much fun. All right, let's keep it going. So here we go. I showed you the hospital corpsman, right? Because this is how I got my medical education, right? I was trained by the Navy, and then the Navy taught us how to take care of the body, right? Because that's what corpsman means. Corpse means body, right? Body man, right? So then we learned all these subjects right here, right? So we learned basic life support. We learned medical terminology. We learned anatomy and physiology. We learned pre-hospital care. We learned inpatient and outpatient care, right? We learned the body systems, right? We learned all of these things, and we did it through lectures. We did it through group activities. We did it through demonstrations. We used our hands, right? And we had hands-on instruction and clinical practice, man. We did that, and it only took us 560 hours in order for us to learn how to take care of the body, man. That was so much fun. All right, so check this out. That basically comes out to 14 weeks, right? So from boot camp to my A school, it was 14 weeks. But then I went to additional training too, right? Because I had to learn how to be a field medical technician too, which means that I can go out on the field and I can play doc on the field, right? But let's keep it going. So this is how much it costs to train a military member, right? They say on average like 22,000, right? But the range is between 11,000 and 44,000 bucks, right? So for every man or every woman that goes into the military, in order for them to be trained, right, the range is between 11,000 and 44,000 bucks, right? And you get a whole lot from that money, man. You get a whole lot, right? Because you get people who can basically do amazing things because they're operating in a private association called the military, man. All right, that one came from military medicine. Okay, so let's keep it going. Look at what the average cost of medical school is, right? This is just sad, so for all the doctors that want to be doctors out there because they have to go to medical school because it's accredited, that's how much they have to pay. Right, they have to pay over $200,000, man. That's a lot of money in order for you to be able to help people, man. That's just ridiculous. Okay, let's keep it going. So we also wanted to know how much does nursing school cost, right? So they have a range because you can get an associate's degree in nursing, right? And then that could be anywhere between, what do they have, $3,000 to $20,000, right? So that's a 2-year program, right? Then if you want to get a 4-year program, it can cost you anywhere up to $100,000, right? So this is a lot of money that people are having to pay in order for them to learn how to take care of people, man. All right, so let's keep it going, right? So I'm a lawman now, right? And then as a lawman, we always have to look for maladministration, right? And maladministration just means that the management of our affairs is not being done well, right? So we look for improper management of the affairs of the people, right? And then we do that by looking at the constitutions, right? And then we look at the constitutions, and then we make sure that our public servants are matching up to what the constitutions say. And if it doesn't match up to what the constitutions say, we call that one maladministration, right? Those are just bad administrators, all right? So let's keep it going. We're going to show you some more words, right? One of those ways that they do that is through treason, right? And what they do is that they deliver over the trust, right? So they deliver or they hand over the trust of the people to another entity, right? So if you delegate the ability or your power to another entity that the people don't delegate that power to, that's called treason, right? That's called treason, and we're looking for that now, man. All right, so let's keep it going. Right, we look for war, right? Because one of the ways that you have war is right here, to confuse and to mix up, right? So if you confuse the people and you mix up the people and you tell them that they can't do things like in the private jurisdiction, right? Because they can't like go help out men, and they can't go help men and women out because of the knowledge that they have in their brain. And then they have to go through a certain type of program, which is called a fake monopoly. That's called confusion. That's called you're mixing up the people. That's also called war, right? So when you look in the constitutions, that's one of the things that, that treason is, man. So, if you bring war to the people, so if you bring confusion to the people, if you mix up the people, that's called war, right? So every man and every woman, we can all go look and see how we're being confused, how we're being mixed up. And then we see that they're bringing war on the people, man. Stupid simple, right? And then you want to look for the agent, right? Who's the one acting? Who's the one causing it? Who's the one driving it? Who's the one moving moving the words around that is confusing the people. An example of that is like every time a public servant goes on the screen and says our democracy, right, they are causing confusion, right? They are causing war, right? They are betraying the people's trust, right? They are handing over our trust to something that the people don't have, because we're not a democracy. We are a republic. All governments are Republican in form, right? Scary simple, right? So we do this how? By teaching. So when we teach, we show. When we teach, we point out, right? That's all we do. So we show every man and we show every woman what's up with the words by teaching them, right? And you can do the same thing too, right? Because you can show every man and every woman what's up with the words. And then if these words, like you're like, hey, do you agree with these words? I'm like, yeah, I do. That's what they mean. I'm like, okay, cool. And then once you do that, then you guys are cool, man. You guys got your word and you got your bond, man. All right, so let's keep it going. We like to show peace, right? You know, we like to show peace because peace is also this. It's a covenant. It's an agreement, right? You know, that's why we got to peace. We got through peace through my brother Christ, right? And then my brother Christ, once he hooked me up with the oil, then he showed me what's up with God, right? And then I was like, boom, I'm at peace, homeboy. I got this now. I know what I'm supposed to do. And now all I do is I just teach peace. I show the peace. I show the agreements, man. Scary simple, right? So I show those to here, right here, the people, right? And then I like this because the people, they're so powerful because the people is the army, right? The people are the army, right? It's so much fun. But the army is consists of what they call humans, what they call persons in general, what they call men and women, right? So if you're a man and if you're a woman, then that means that you're part of the army, man. You're one of the people, and the people are the army of everything. It's called God's army, man. It's so much fun. All right, let's keep it going. Right, corpse. Remember, I was showing you that I was a corpsman, right? You know, and a corpsman means something stupid simple, but this is what it means. Core. Body, right? You know, so I'm always about the body, right? You know, because it's all about being one body, right? You know, because I work for God's body, right? You know, so now I've been a corpsman for a very long time, and I'm still a corpsman because I'm a body man, right? You know, I like to show the people the body, right? So I'm going to show you some more words, right? Here goes doctor, right? You know, doctor means right this, see, docere, to show, teach, cause to show, cause to know, right? But it comes from this word right here, to take, accept, right? So every doctor, you just show, right? Every doctor, you just teach, right? Every doctor, you help people know. That's it, man. But you just make sure that they can take and accept things, man. Stupid, simple service, right? Let's keep it going. You know, when they say they're physicians, right? So physicians is a dual word. It's two, but the root is physic, right? And then when you show people the physic, you show the be, right? You show them how to be. You show them how to exist. You show them how to grow. Right? It's so easy once you know what these words mean and you know what you're supposed to do, because they're all action words, man. You know, so you have to be, you have to exist, and you have to grow. Every man be, every woman be, every man exist, every woman exist, every man grow, every woman, grow. Okay? Stupid simple, right? Let's keep it going. Surgeon. This is another one, right? It's fun, right? Because you have ker, right? You know, which means the hand, right? And ergon, work, right? So surgeon is hand work, right? You know, so when you work with your hands, that means you're a surgeon, right? So imagine all those people out there that work with their hands, right? There's a bunch of surgeons out there that don't know that they're surgeons because they don't know that anything you do with your hands is work, right? It's hand work, man. Stupid, simple service, right? This is not relegated to just one industry, right? It means hand work, right? Mechanic, hand work. Artist, hand work, right? You got to get surgical with your skills, man. All right, let's keep it going. Nurse, right? Here's another fun word, right? We love this one because nurse means, right? You see this? To suckle, right? But nourish, right? So you're feeding, right? You're feeding, right? So you feed things, right? And then you have all these other words right here. But when you look at nourish, right? And then you see, well, what does nourish mean? Right? And then you go over here and then you say to swim. Right? So if you can help people to swim, if you can show them how to move, then that means you're nursing them. You're causing them to be nourished. You're nourishing them, right? See? Raise, bring up, nurture, foster, maintain, provide. There's a lot of words right here, right? You know, but it all just means just to swim, right? So let's keep it going. Here goes diagnosis, right? Diagnosis is another two-word ring, right? See, dia means between, right? And then you have gnosis, to know, right? So between, to know, right? So they have to learn, to come to know, right? So as long as you show people how to know things, right? Then that means that you're going to diagnose, right? You're doing diagnosis, right? It's two words, man. So you can't have a monopoly on these words, and then you can't say that, oh yeah, I'm the only entity that can diagnose. I'm the only one that can show people how to learn between, right? You can't do that, man. And then this is how we're going to free the people now, right? Because once you have mastery over the words, you're free. Okay, let's keep it going. Treat. Right, treat is another fun one, right? Because it means to pull or to draw, right? To pull, to draw is with your hands, man. See, it says it right here, tract, right? So if you click on tract, right, and then you click on this word and you follow it, you see it says drag, right? So if you're treating, you're dragging, you're drawing, you're tracking, you're doing stuff with your hands, man. All right, let's keep it going. How we doing on time? We're okay. All right, so when you address things, right, when you address things, you have to move in straight line, right? So when you address something, you say, I want you to move in a straight line, right? So once you address something and it moves in a straight line, you're good, man. You're totally free, okay? See, straight, direct, keep straight, right? So when you got to make sure that the people are walking straight, you address them, right? Stupid simple. Okay, let's keep it going. Ill, right? We like this one because they're like, oh, I don't feel well, I feel ill, right? But look at this one. This is just weird, right? From evil, bad, hard, difficult, mean, stingy, and then the word is of unknown origin, right? But then when you saw where it was evil, right? Evil, I like this one because that just means live backwards, right? So if you're living backwards, then that means you're ill, right? And then what we do now is that we just make sure that you can move straight, right? So we address you now, right? So that's how we take care of the ill, right? Such a fun word, right? Check out health. Health is a fun one too, right? You see this one? Holy, sacred, to heal, right? Whole, right? Whole, right? So when you're in health, you're whole. That means one, right? So as long as you're health and you're one, you're healthy, right? It's stupid simple. And then you just have to make sure that people are healthy. You got to make sure that they're whole. You got to make sure that they're one, right? And then you do that in so many different ways, right? It's another word that's not relegated just to one industry, man. This is something that every man and every woman, they do. We all make sure that everybody is whole, and we all make sure that everybody is one, right? Because every man and every woman, it has a holy temple. They have a sacred temple because God lives in the body. Stupid simple, right? Let's keep it going. Care, right? So when you have health care, right? When you make sure you have one care, right? When you make sure you make things one, right? This is what you're supposed to do, right? But look at how they got kara, sorrow, trouble, care, right? But then we're like, burdens of the mind, right? So anything that's bothering your mind and stuff like that, you're like, I better make sure that I care for that one. Okay, so check this out. This is going to get fun, right? Because, right, we worked in the love industry, right? Because love means to care. So much fun, right? So if you just change the word to love, right, what industry do you work for? I work for the love industry, man, because I care, and I desire, right? I wish for people to be whole. I wish for people to be one, right? So most people are always looking at love up here because there's all these other words that can mean love, right? But then I like this right here, the love of God, right? Because I love God. I love God's creations, right? I love that what God made, right? And then I make sure that I care for everything that God has made for, right? And then one of the ways that I'm showing that I got love, right, for all of God's people is I'm showing God's people the word, man. That's all we do now. We just show you what's up. All right, let's keep it going. Here goes license, right? License right here. Look at this. To offer, bargain, make a bid, right? But everybody always thinks a license is this right here. Formal authorization, official permission. You get a permit or a privilege, right? So if someone gives you a piece of paper that's a license, right, they're giving you an offer. They're giving you a bargain, right? They're letting you go out there now and do things under this little piece of paper, right? Because they basically stamped it off for you, man. Stupid simple, right? But this is what we do. We like associates, right? We like associates and we like associations, right? Because it means this right here. add for to, unite with, right? To follow, right? So when you associate, you unite. When you associate, you follow. You move as one, man. You join, right? You join together, right? So where there's one, where there's two or more, there am I. That's what God said. So when you build associations, you build two or more people, two or more men, two or more women, and then you guys can move as one. You guys are free, right? You're free to do all sorts of wonderful things, man. Like you can help each other become whole. You can help each other become one, man. You got to know what's up with these words, man. Because if you guys keep listening to the lawyers, right, the lawyers are going to have you lost in legalese, man. So that's why we try to bring people over to the world of the PMA. Shout out to David Jose. I'm going to show you guys what's up with my man David Jose, right? Because he's going to show you what's up with the PMA world, man. It's so much fun. All right, so let's check it out. Let's keep it going. Remember I was telling you that I was a corpsman, right? And then in the Navy, I was able to do all sorts of things, right? But here, I'm going to show you. Listen, I'm going to just read these words, right? So because the areas of expertise and responsibilities in medicine frequently overlap, legal limits of practice are defined by each state. That's a fact, right? Legal limits, right? The assignments and responsibilities of hospital corpsmen frequently include areas of practice usually provided by physicians and nurses in the civilian sector, right? So when I was in the Navy, we were doing all sorts of things that when I came into the civilian world that I couldn't do. They were like, you have to go to medical school if you want to do that. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And they were like, you have to go to nursing school if you want to do that because only a doctor or a physician can do that. And I was like, we did this all the time in the Navy, man, right? And they were like, only nurses can do that. I was like, we did this all the time in the Navy, right? And then I realized the reason being is because right here, right? So we were working under the authority of the United States government, right? And then when we found out what the United States government is a private association, right? It's just like the American Medical Association or the Nurses Association, right? But then you have the United States government, which is a private association. And I was like, I got it good now. That's why we hang out with my man David Jose, because he gave us the game for the PMA. All right, so now we have our private membership associations too, and we can do all sorts of wonderful things because we have the same power as the United States government, man. Scary simple service, all people, right? So check this out. Here goes the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, right? And then what we wanted to look for physicians and surgeons, and then we wanted to see what do they do, and that's why we showed you all those words, right? So this is what physicians and surgeons do. Physicians and surgeons diagnose and treat injuries or illness and address health maintenance, right? So we showed you all those words, man. We showed you all those words, and now you know what those words mean, right? So now you know that just physicians and just surgeons they're not the only ones that can use these words, right? So all people can use these words, right? As long as you're in the private realm, you guys are free to do a lot of things, right? But as long as you're in the world of the consumer, you better do what they tell you to do, man. It's stupid simple because that's what we told our servants to do, right? So if you're a consumer, right, you better follow the rules of our governments that we created, right? But if you're a private associate, right, then you follow the rules of whatever association that you're joined to, man. It's stupid simple, right? So check it out. Let's keep it going, right? Here goes the nurses. So we wanted to see what the nurses did, right? And then you're like, what do nurses do? Nurses provide and coordinate patient care and educate patients and the public about various health conditions, right? So if you're just coordinating and you're just educating, right, and then you're just letting them know about health, right, why is it that the RN is the only one that can do this? And the reason being is because you're working in the land of the consumer, right? So when you're a consumer, you better be a registered nurse, right? So when you're a consumer, you better follow these rules, right? Because that's what we created. We've established that, we said that, hey, Congress, regulate the market, right? So Congress regulates the market, and sometimes we have to make sure that these people can do what they can do. But in the land of the private, as long as you follow the rules of whatever association that you're joined, you're good, you're free, right? And then you just have to do the due diligence to make sure that association doesn't harm man, doesn't harm woman, doesn't harm child. Scary simple, right? Okay, let's keep it going. here goes a pledge, right? So I'm not going to read the whole pledge, right? But then this is what the corpsman pledge was, right? And then I like the first lines, right? Where it says, I solemnly pledge myself before God, right? So when we were corpsmen, we pledged ourselves before God, right? I'm going to show you another one, right? So here goes the Hippocratic oath, right? The ones that physicians used to historically take, but they changed it, right? But look at who they would swear to. I swear by Apollo, healer, by Asclepius, by Hygeia, and by Panacea, right? And by all the gods and goddesses, man. So when we started to see this, right, this is when we started to know, oh, no wonder the doctors are all messed up. No wonder the physicians are all messed up, man. You guys are not even one. You guys are all over the place on who you bound yourself to, right? So corpsman, we're only bound to God, right? Doctors, you guys are all over the place, man. So you might want to work on this, right? And then as you own your words, you guys can fix this, right? Scary simple, right? So let me show you the nurses one. Look at this one. This is the original one from Florence Nightingale, right? I'm going to just look. I solemnly pledge myself before God. What? Okay. So the nurses too, they are also bound to God, right? So I got corpsmen that are bound to God. I got nurses that are bound to God. And right now, so far, the ones that are not bound to God are the doctors and the physicians, right? The doctors, physicians, and surgeons, you guys are not bound to God, man. This means that you guys are serving something else, right? So we're going to help you out with this one, right? We're going to help you because as the people, we can do that, okay? So let's close it out. All right, so here we go. So we got Hosea 4:6, right? So look at this, right? So God's people, my people, are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, right? So this is what we're showing you now, right? So as one of the people, we have to show the other people the knowledge of the words, right? So once you get the words down, you guys are going to be free, okay? Let's keep it going, right? We like Luke 11:52, right? Because this is who we go to war with now, right? Well, we don't go to war with them. We're at peace. We're at peace with all lawyers, right? But check this out. Woe unto you lawyers, for ye have taken away the key of knowledge, right? So the lawyers took away the key of knowledge from God's people, right? But what we do now, because we are lawmen, right? I have lawmen and lawwomen, right? Lawmen and lawwomen, they give back the knowledge to the people, right? And that's just what we do. So we're very different from a lawyer, right? Because I had a man tell me, it's never too late to go to law school. And I was like, no way, bro. I've already gone to the school, right? Because God showed me what's up with the word, right? God showed me how to use the word, right? He brought people into my life that showed me how to use the word. And now I know how to use the law words in a lawful way that crush all the lawyers, man. It's so much fun. Hi, lawyers. You guys are still cool with me, though. All right, let's keep it going. Luke 16:13. Remember, no servant can serve two masters, right? So you have to serve one master. You either serve God, right, or you serve Mammon, right? You see that? You either serve God or you serve Mammon, right? And Mammon means rich gains, right? So if you're chasing that paper, if you're chasing that money, right, then that means we know that you're serving Mammon, right? If you're just serving God, you're just doing it for the love, man. You just do it because you love it. All right, let's keep it going. John 1:1. Yeah, we love John 1:1. All right, so check this out. In the beginning was the Word. We love the Word. And the Word was with God. We love God. And the Word was God, right? We love Word and we love God. That's why we love John 1:1, right? Because he said, begin Word. Gotta go. Let's keep it moving. Right? Genesis. Let me show you some more words of God, right? And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, right? So God made man in God's image. Stupid simple, right? And then God said, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, right? So God gave man, God gave woman dominion over everything on the earth, right? And then God said, so God created man in his own image, right? In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them, right? So every man and every woman, you are all created in the image of God, right? So if you ever want to know what God looks like, right? And then you're like, what image does God really look like? Just look at men and just look at women and you're like, I bet you God looks like that. So much fun, right? All right, let's keep it going. Psalms 82:6, right? God said, I have said, ye are gods, little g. Always remember that, right? So little g. So big G is telling little g what's up right now, right? You know, because I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Simple, right? Every man and every woman is a child of God, right? Every man and every woman is a child of the Most High, right? Every man and every woman is created in the image of God, right? So every time you see a man, every time you see a woman, you know they are one of God's children. They are one of the children of the Most High, and they are in the image of God, man. Stupid simple, right? All right, let's keep it going. Boom. And we close it out right here because we want to show the order, right? Because this is something that I got from the healthcare industry. You know, we used to do timeouts, right? So every time before we did a surgery, right, because there were so many people doing wrong surgeries, we would say, stop, time out. And then we would go down a checklist and we would make sure that we met everything on the checklist. And that's the same as this right here, right? You know, so check it out. Order. God created the world. Check. God created man, aka the people, check. People created states, check. People created constitutions, check. People created governments, check. Question, when did government become boss of the people? Answer, never, never. Man, woman, we are the boss of all governments. Scary simple service. All right, well, that's it. You know, I'm going to go. So we just got done freeing all the men and all the women that are in the healthcare industry, man. That was fun, right? You know, see that? Check this out. You guys get out there and you guys go serve every man and every woman because you have a duty and an obligation now. All right? I'll talk to you guys in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.